quando parliamo di deportazione veniamo guardati male, perché una triste terminologia appartenente al passato, quando poi invece credo che le parole siano importanti e che sia ancora più importante chiamare le cose con il proprio nome. E il fatto che persone, esseri umani si ritrovino ad essere espatriati, rimpatriati, trasportati, senza che loro capiscano nel momento cosa gli stia accadendo e senza che loro abbiano capacità decisionale, li rende dei meri pacchi postali.
Well, my name is Sulaiman Sise. I was born in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Then I went to school in Sierra Leone. I was there first year, second year, third year, then the war broke up. We have to stop going to school because the rebel war break up. Yeah, that was 91, 92. I was young at that time anyway. I was still a teenager. So when everything kicked off, so there was like, oh yeah, the army was disbanded.
I would say she was born in the 1960s. Keep in mind, not everybody was documented in those days, so I don't have a specific date of birth for her. I mean, she grew up in Salon, right? So she went to school without any problems because her family was able to support her. She met my father. When they got married, it was a traditional African wedding. It was a night for celebration. After that, I don't know too much because my mother, like I said, didn't give me too much information. So the information that I've gathered is from my grandmother since I've been here. So I can't be too specific.
Well, my name is Sir Patrick Mosone, yeah, and I am a Sierra Leonean. I left in 2010, yes, to the United States. So my father was a local contractor, so he tried and helped me out so that I can, go to places, so I can educate myself and make a better life for myself. And I was given the visa, so...
His father believed in him. He was strong. He was the first child. And that is why my husband, his father, sold half of his cows just to pay for him. It's kind of an investment, so we were expecting to get returns.
I left Sierra Leone 1999 when Rebel Militia was threatened. It was so confusing. The country, people are dying, they are killing, they are not hiding. A lot of things is happening. There is a lot of boats in the sea. I never get the experience of travel. I find myself to Germany. So from there, I saw a clear asylum.
La migrazione chiaramente anche laddove è volontaria ha comunque una quota di traumatizzazione per la persona che la vive.
In those days, it was Shaka Stevens who was the president. They voted for him because he made promises to the people, promises that he did not uphold. There was a demonstration, and my parents went to the demonstration against the president. The police showed up, started harassing the demonstrators, so my parents fled and went back home. In that time, the police came and raided the house. They had to leave. They had dogs and everything. They didn't know what was gonna happen. Would they go to jail? Would something else happen? They were in the woods. So my mom decided if they split up, they would have a better chance of surviving. My mom ran through the woods. My father went the other way. She stopped at some point because she could hear the dog sounds were more faint as she kept running. But she didn't know what was going on with my dad. Was he okay? Did he get busted? Nobody knows.
Chi invece affronta quel viaggio lo affronta sapendo che probabilmente non potrà mai più tornare indietro. Si crea una condizione tale per cui tu non hai più la possibilità di rientrare. Così come diceva Gino Strada, o è un diritto di tutti oppure è un privilegio di pochi.
When my brother was in the army at that time, so they run away to go to the jungle. Sulaiman, you can't stay here because you're my brother. If you stay here, they'll kill you. So I was scared. I didn't stay. I followed my brother in the jungle. He was in Kailaung. Then from there, we was like fighting against this Ecomog troop. When they come, they told them that, oh, you can kill anyone in the country, selling chickens, kill them all. So when they came with this intention, and exactly that's what they were doing. No interview, no investigation.
Yes, man sabi me. No man dey sabi me. Look at the fire explain to the boss man. But let them not kill me. No man dey sabi me.
We couldn't win the war. They can't win the war, we can't win the war. They came and killed people, robbing, raping people, raping girls, everything.
After my grandfather heard my mom's story, he wasn't happy about it. So she decided to leave the house. And she decided to stay at a close family friend's house because she felt that close people would be too exposed, but she still felt safe with that person. So Mr. Michaels was studying in Russia. He is the one who figured out that my father is still alive. He was in Berlin. So when he came and spoke to my mom, he told her about that. And he gave her the way to be able to leave Salon, to go to Berlin, but it wasn't going to be easy. She had to be smuggled into the country. So there's a lot of risks that she had to take. But she was willing to take them, and she wanted to be with him.
At first, I was carrying ammunition for my brothers. At that time, I didn't know how to use the weapon. I had a friend. He was killed by the Ecomog as well. They would get attacked. So when we get this attack, he was shot here. But at that time, I didn't know how to do first aid. I should have rescued him, but I didn't know. So I was there shouting this and that. So someone just came, come, let's go, move. He said, the enemy are coming. You're staying here crying. I said, come, let's go, stop crying. He's dead. Just leave him there, let's go. He was my friend. We grew up together. He was like a young age before he went to the army. So I knew him long time.
It took 3 months after she found out, then the procedure started. And to suffer for a better life and to rejoin the one that you thought was lost. She didn't even know where Berlin was, right? She just landed in Germany, not speaking the language, but she knew that Mr. Michaels was there and that my father was there, but also my grandfather, he had people from our clan who were there to be able to make sure that she got there safely.
My country itself, nobody never mind about deportees. They never get any mechanism. Then thought that when you arrive in this country, you are a failure. You never do anything better in that country. So they started to provoke you. So we are united together in 2010. And to 2011, we came as organization we call NIS, the Network of Ex-Asylum Seekers. But before, we are calling ourselves deportees.
NIS becomes an organization, a group of activists who would continue to push for the voices, for the rights of asylum seekers and deportees, both in the context of the countries where they are deported from, but also in the context of Sierra Leone, for example, where they are. Because I think deportation is never possible without the cooperation of the immigration department, that they try to put pressure on the authorities and tell them, hey, there's a lot of human rights violation that is happening.
They decide to disarmament. That's the DDR. It's disarmament and demobilization and reintegration. They disarm we, they demobilize we, then after they reintegrate us back into the army. So that time I was trained by the British Army Green Jackets. They come from England, all the way from England. We are the first 150 people that disarmed in West Side.
Nel caso della migrazione forzata questa cosa avviene in un contesto che non è protetto, non è molto spesso programmato, non è deciso veramente. Da questo punto di vista è in sé per sé un processo traumatico.
Also ich war 8 Jahre alt und habe immer noch bei meiner Pflegefamilie gelebt. Meine Pflegemutter hatte eine Drogerie in Berlin und eines Tages, ich war nach der Schule da, ganz normal wie immer. Alle waren aufgeregt irgendwie und dann mir wurden gerade die Haare gekämmt und dann kommt meine Mutter einfach durch die Eingangstür durch so.
One of my friends came to city. He said, "Oh yeah, Suleiman is alive." So my family was shocked. "Oh, is he alive?" Because they thought I was dead. So he said, "Okay, well, can you give him this message? Can you tell him to come? I got a message for you." He said, "Your mom wants you to go to Freetown. I think your brother is in England. He wants to speak to you." I asked my boss for permission and gave me the pass. Then I came to the city. My brother said, "Oh man, thank God you're alive. I've been worried about you, blah, blah, blah. I want to see you, this and that. Okay, now I'm going to help you so that you come to England."
Erst ich sehe eine schwarze Frau und dann erinnere ich mich an Fotos und dann, hier ist deine Mama. Und ich so, oh, okay. Und erstmal geschockt, starr. Das Erste, was sie macht, ist, sie kommt auf mich zu und sagt, wie sehen deine Haare aus? Und nimmt den Kamm und zieht ihn einmal komplett durch. Bis heute haben wir uns auch nicht wieder gesehen. Also das letzte Mal habe ich sie mit 8 gesehen. Und ja, das liegt schon schwer auf so.
From Freetown to the Lunge Airport to London. From London, go to Washington Dulles Airport. And I have some Liberian friends in Florida, so I catch the bus, the Greyhound bus.
Ja, Lian ist geboren und dann ich habe Lian bis jetzt allein großgezogen und dann für ein Kind wachsen ohne Papa. Auch für mich im Aufgang, wenn Lian ist geboren, war nicht so einfach. Und dann natürlich für ein Mädchen mit 5 Jahren, was kann man klären? Was kann man nicht auch alle erzählen?
It's sad. It's really sad what certain people have to go through in order to escape the things that goes on in their countries. What they have to suffer just to have freedom, to be accepted. Do you guys mind if I smoke a cigarette right now? Because it's a lot.
Cioè, quando arriva un gommone con 98 persone a bordo, sono gommoni a tubolare unico e a fondo non rigido. Normalmente è sovraccarico. Il motore è un motore finto, la benzina è sicuramente minore del necessario ed è fatto a persone che molto spesso non hanno mai visto il mare.
Well, of course, when you leave for Europe, everybody will be happy. Even yourself, you will be happy because you're going to a better place.
I was a bit struggling in Mali because it's my first time to go there, but we managed. From Mali, we went to Libya. The guy that was supposed to pick me up in Libya, I couldn't find him. And I stand the day we went, so we had to try and get him till the next day. I think the days or so, we had a phone call, "Oh yeah, I'm here." So we met him in some area. We stayed in this warehouse for like 3 days. We've been given like bread and water.
In quel momento le persone ti raccontano, anche se tu vedi le imbarcazioni e dici no, io non salgo a bordo, non puoi più farlo, perché ti uccidono se torni indietro.
And from Libya now, about 20 of us in one boat. Me, I was in one of them. Crossed, then later someone fell on the water. We didn't check for him because it's night time.
Molto spesso l'indicazione è quella di dire, vedete le luci laggiù in fondo? Ecco, quella è l'Italia, andate là. Il primo vero momento di panico, una volta che sono partiti, è quando arrivano a quelle luci. Quelle luci sono le piattaforme petrolifere. E quindi da quel momento in poi non hai più una luce, hai un buio.
There was a woman who was scared. She was scared. Yeah, she was scared. She was crying. Oh, she's scared of the water. But I was like, patient, we'll be there soon. I trying to like talk to her, but she didn't cope.
I bambini vengono messi al centro, le mamme attorno, i ragazzini attorno ancora e gli uomini di solito a cavalcioni del tubolare. Se ci pensiamo è un ragionamento di sicurezza e tutela in qualche modo, no? Dal soggetto più vulnerabile, più piccolo, il bambino, in poi. Dopo 2 o 3 giorni che sono in mare, chi è maggiormente tutelato è immerso nell'acqua salsa, benzina, urina, feci.
The water was heavy. I don't know, there was a swelling come, and the boat just flicked us up. Everyone was just like that in the water. Then, fortunately, the rescue team came. They rescued us. We are in Malta. They took me to, I don't know how to call this place.
Many women, many children, pregnant women, one is sick. I brought all, not all. I brought all the children and some women, but there are still women. We brought 9.
Il diritto della persona straniera che arriva irregolarmente di presentare una richiesta asilo è garantito dalla legge a tutti. Dal punto di vista pratico non è così facile.
They took me to Florida. Yeah, so that was how I started my life over there. Well, I arrived in St. Petersburg. First of all, life was very difficult because, you know, trying to find accommodation.
Nella prima fase, che è quella appunto della formalizzazione, vuol dire allo Stato italiano: sono qui e ho bisogno di chiedere protezione internazionale perché nel mio paese ho un problema grande che riguarda il rispetto dei miei diritti umani fondamentali.
When they met, what they did is they went to the police, that's what they call it, to register her as an asylum seeker because of what she was fleeing back in Salon. Obviously, it wasn't easy. They had to get the right documentation. They had to explain to her how she even got into the country. And then after they went to the police, it was very nice. My dad brought her to a shop. And because he saw she wasn't properly dressed, he bought her a coat, he bought her shoes to make her feel more comfortable for the new life they were about to start living.
Took me to Camberwell direct, to my brother's house. So in Camberwell now, it's SC5. We went to my brother's house. My brother came, I was happy, he was happy to see me. Then there was like two-room apartments, bit of Victorian house. So I was there staying with him. Yeah, London was a beautiful city. Lights everywhere, no sleeping. The city don't sleep. At first I thought it was an holiday.
I started to meet their families, so their homes. For me, they are taking care of their kids. Europe is not as they take it. It's a country also, honey and sugar, paradise.
I am his mother. I love him. But there's something I do not understand. How can you miss this opportunity?
From the radio, people talking around her, she picked up very fast the language. My father was working at the Continental Hotel. After she started speaking German, she got a job. And she started working as a maid, cleaning up, different rooms and stuff like that.
What I did to cut it short is I find myself in the church, in the Lutheran church. So I was attending there, So they helped me out so I say, okay, I want to seek an asylum. And they find a lawyer for me, and the lawyer was helping me out, get work visa, try to get my papers straight and stuff like that. At the same time, I was going to school, Tomlinson, adult education, so that I can get my high school diploma. Because I was in the medical field, so I want to let me to be like a doctor.
Io penso che una delle prime parole che loro imparano sia devi aspettare.
Because of family friends, I always get a job. When I start, as soon as I work, the boss man will say, yeah, he's a good worker, let him work. So I'll start working, washing plates. I start working in Japanese restaurants, yeah, at IPAC. So from there, we got a certificate. Yeah, then they send us to open another new restaurant in Putney Bridge. I start working as a kitchen porter, washing dishes. It was hard, but I have to survive.
Aber war schon keine Mama zu haben, so richtig wie alle anderen, das hat man mir oft zu verstehen gegeben. So. Das hat man oft gesagt, du hast weiße Eltern, du gehörst nicht zu uns Afrikanern, du bist auch kein richtiger Deutscher, auch wenn du Deutsch sprichst, du bist schwarz. Dann weiß man nicht, wo hinten und vorne ist.
Dobbiamo fare lo sforzo di capire qual è la situazione della persona che arriva. La persona vive una situazione di sospensione permanente. Non è più là, ma non è ancora qua. La provvisorietà permanente, Sayad la chiamava la doppia assenza. Vive una costellazione di perdite plurime a vario livello. Si trova a aver perso la rete affettiva, la rete familiare, il ruolo sociale, tutta una serie di situazioni per cui ha bisogno di essere accolto nel pieno riconoscimento di quello che è.
3 months in, she found out she was pregnant with me. And it was a very difficult pregnancy from what I heard. She felt like there was a disconnection with my father at that time when it happened. A lot of pressure fell on my father. She left her job after only a few months of working there. My dad, I would say, maybe went into some kind of a depression. He started smoking, he started drinking, and he started beating my mom. And I mean, nobody's really telling me what's going on. Throughout her pregnancy, he was very abusive to her.
Quando si cambia contesto e arrivi in un posto dove le tradizioni, gli usi, le relazioni sociali sono stabilite su parametri completamente diversi, si realizza insomma in una forma di frammentazione estrema.
Sie sagt, warum habt uns gelassen? Ich konnte nicht sie alle zählen, das machen wir nicht. Sie war genug, aber ich kann sie nicht immer erzählen, ich schlecht über seinen Papa. Das ist schon traurig genug.
I went to the Pinales Technical Education, so I was studying there, surgical technologies, at the same time. It was very tough because, I was having a lot of immigration, stress in my mind, all those things. It was very difficult for me to cope up with school and at the same time, trying to find a job to do. Yes, then I later get certificates to do like sterile processing. I was doing sterilization in the hospital. I was working good, things was going fine.
The head chef was a French guy, Pierre. I was fortunate to work with him. So I learned a bit more of catering and chef, his chopping and everything. Yeah. Because normally I used to come in the kitchen when it's busy, I help them out. Helping at the kitchen, helping at the pastry. Oh my. It's not easy, but.
After a few months of me being alive, I got sick with meningitis. And I mean, I was really, really sick. My mom brought me to the hospital. She met a female doctor that helped her to take care of me. But my father was still not there for her the way he should have been. So it was very hard. And I can only imagine the struggle that she had to go through. And the doctor made sure to take care of me and give me the medicine that I needed in order for me to survive.
Then I become a line chef. When I got my own section for myself. I love my job. If you ask me if I love my job, I love my job.
Ci sono anche tantissimi interventi che si sono succeduti che hanno instaurato una sorta di diritto differenziale rispetto ai migranti. Cioè, c'è attualmente in vigore una legislazione speciale. Ci sono delle leggi che valgono per gli italiani ma non valgono per gli stranieri. Pensiamo, no, all'abolizione del grado di appello rispetto alla richiesta del permesso di soggiorno.
You have a German passport, it will be the same. You can go almost everywhere. You know, you are not going to be illegal. But with a Sierra Leonean passport, for example, you're restricted. You cannot just move, even if you can afford it, you know. I think this imbalance is part of a very global phenomenon of inequality and racism.
After 2 months, I came out of the hospital. Obviously, my mom was there with me every single day. My dad, who knows where he was. When we went back to the house, I guess she had the hopes that things would be different. It wasn't. He kept beating her. There's this one night, from what I was told, he threw like a glass at me and my mom, and he missed us by just a few millimeters. You know, I don't know how bad it could have been, but that night my mom knew he wasn't gonna stop. He wasn't gonna change, and it would end up me being hurt or her being hurt, and she wanted something different, so we left the house.
I met my girlfriend when I was going to school and doing technical. We met there. She was from Haiti, you know, and we met there. We was like, you know, talking to each other. She need help, like ride to the workplace, because she was working. So I used to, that time I was having a car, so I was like, oh, let me help this girl, let me see what, you know. Later on, we fall in love and get married, and, you know, so that's how it's happened.
And she was in such a rush that she forgot to take the coat. And keep in mind, this is February, March in Germany. It's cold, right? And she's got this little baby. She's struggling by herself. She doesn't know too many people. And now we're out in the streets. She was desperate. She held me very tight in her arms, scared, not knowing what was gonna happen, what tomorrow would bring.
Oh, that day, like I said, the time when I was working in Portland, I used to, you know, you used to get like bus 35. I was smiling then. This girl was just smiling at me as well. We just got parked there. And I jumped over to her seat. And I said, do you know me? So when she got off the bus, I said, oh, let me take the opportunity. I help her, hold her shopping. Because she got like shopping bags. I help her across the road. She was just living just over the road there. Yeah, so we talked, she gave me a number. This is how we met, yeah. It was beautiful.
He never called, not even sending us, not even $1 for the family he left behind. But we still kept hoping and praying for him.
Ich habe eine deutsche Staatsbürgerschaft, seitdem ich 19 bin. Man muss wissen, zuerst hatte ich den Passport von Sierra Leone, musste immer zur Ausländerbehörde. Dann gab es aber Probleme, aber ich schätze, als ich 18, 17 war, gab es Probleme. Mein afrikanischer Pass war abgelaufen, mein Pass von Sierra Leone. Und wir mussten einen neuen beschaffen und niemand wusste wie. Und dann haben wir meine Mutter angerufen in Freetown und die hat es geschafft, in einer Woche das Dokument über die Botschaft in Nigeria. Ich bin hier in die Botschaft in Nigeria gegangen und habe dann meinen neuen Passport holen können. Und kein anderer hat es geschafft, mir ein neues Dokument zu besorgen. Und meine Mutter in einer Woche, das war das erste Mal, wo sie was versprochen hat und sofort durchgezogen hat. Und wo ich so gemerkt habe, so, meine Mama ist da.
We did get married and we even have a kid. We have one kid together. He's a boy, David. He was born December 1st, 2013.
And By luck, this lady came out and saw us, and she took us in. And then she realized it was the doctor that took care of me while I was sick. So she took us in, she took care of us, and she's a German lady. She knows the German laws. She knows that my father is in the wrong and bad things could happen to him. But I think that my mother loved him so much that she didn't want to put him in trouble. She just wanted a better life for me. So the German lady, she couldn't have kids from what I knew. She was an older lady. So the idea came in where my mom didn't know she could take care of me. She didn't know if she could provide for me the life that she thought I deserved. So they made a deal, her and the German lady, to adopt me.
Il cortocircuito risiede nel fatto che, dal punto di vista della normativa attuale, la persona che arriva in Italia irregolarmente non può sanare la propria condizione di persona irregolare cercandosi un lavoro e trovandolo, perché alla persona irregolare non è possibile sottoscrivere un contratto di lavoro.
My case was all right, but when the new government come, they restrict on immigration. I was asked for visa. You know, you need to bring your passport. I just give like the NI and the bank statements. That's it. So I was all right. Yes, but at one point he said, "Oh, I need to bring it." So I told him, "I'll bring it. Then he said, "Oh, well now if you don't bring it, you have to like leave the job." And I knew I'm not gonna bring it. So whatever. It was tough because I don't even know where to start to go visa.
You will expect me to pity him. I don't mean to disrespect him, but I just needed him to understand that we had so many hope in him as an elder brother who had left for Europe.
I was raised and loved. I was given everything that nobody could have given me in Salon. The empowerment, the opportunities, the possibilities to be something more. And I always knew that deep down I had to come back to Salon to reunite with my mom. We lost contact for 22 years. I didn't talk to my mom. I didn't even know about my mom, right? Because I was raised by this German lady. But she told me who I was. She told me where I came from. So 22 years later, I made sure to get in contact with my mother. But I still don't have any contact with my father. All I know that he was abusive. I'd like to meet him and understand what was going through his mind, but you also have to understand his struggles. You know, people are different. People react differently under stress, under pressure. But I regret not being able to talk to my mom more just because she kept information from my father from me. But I came back. And I don't live with regrets. I just look at what tomorrow brings.
First, I was working as a housekeeping, like, you know, cleaning, stuff like that. And later on, I tried to educate myself so that I can get a better job, which I did. And I was working in the hospital, in the Lago Medical Center. I was working in the Lago Medical Center, yeah. I was doing sterilization technician. Yeah, like sterilize the instruments for the doctors and those things, get it ready, you know. It brings good memories to me when I remember my job I did. I get a little bit of courage that at least I'm able to give to the people my own help in that field.
My mom made an agreement with my, I would say, stepmother, but I do consider her as my mother, that she would see me every week. She went back home to my father. He knew the story, and he agreed with what she did because he knew he couldn't handle it. It was too much pressure for him, for both of them. They did that for a bit, but then my dad stopped coming to see me. So I don't know exactly why or what happened, but then my mom only came to see me every 2 months. So it became less and less.
Und dann war die schwere Zeit, wo ich muss erklären bei Lian, wo war die Probleme. Im Aufgang, ich ein bisschen Sie gesagt, komm wieder, aber nachher, ich muss die Wahrheit sagen. Wegen ein Kind fragt immer weiter. Und dann kann man nicht immer lügen.
Keep in mind, I'm still an infant. Over time, you'll forget things, right? At one point, both of them stopped coming to see me. So the memories of my parents faded. Their faces, their voices, their scent, everything faded. And I forgot who they were, what they looked like. And all I knew is my new family, my new environment, my school, my friends. You know, you grow up, you go on living. You forget certain things. And it's sad to say that. I wish they would have kept coming to see me. I really do.
Un ragazzo della Costa d'Avorio era arrivato nel nostro progetto di disagio mentale, che era stato rifiutato da altri progetti perché era un caso di estrema gravità e che poi si è concretizzato in un inserimento lavorativo pieno, totale, a tempo indeterminato della persona, che adesso vive una vita assolutamente uguale a quella che facciamo noi, si è costituito una famiglia, ha un suo reddito e come dire, ha trovato anche quella serenità psichica che prima non aveva, perché era un ragazzo di quelli che aveva subito ogni genere di violenza. Noi siamo intervenuti durante l'iter che lo stava consegnando un CPR, pensate.
One day, a friend of mine advised me, he said, instead of you getting all these problems for visa, he said, go and seek asylum. He said, go to Croydon, there's a place there, Lona House. So when you go there, you explain yourself to them. In the morning, I went to the counter and explained myself. They took my name and take a photo of me and everything, and they give me this ID card. The first time I seek asylum, they moved me, because that time I got address. So I was using my missus' address, Paula. For 6 months, they refused my case.
Devi andare a raccontare tutta la tua vita e soprattutto probabilmente la parte più difficile della tua vita, no? Perché immaginiamo cosa vuol dire dover abbandonare il proprio paese d'origine a delle persone totalmente estranee, che non hai mai visto nella tua vita, che probabilmente non rivedrai mai più e che andranno però a decidere sulla tua vita.
During that time, I was like in my hospital uniform. I was trying to go to work, and I see the immigration and custom enforcement, big eyes officer. They pull over in my apartment. They say, you have an immigration issue, we have to go. I tried to call my lawyer did not pick up, and I said, okay, well, let me just speak to my wife and let me say goodbye. You know, I was thinking I was coming that very day. You know?
CPR è un acronimo che sta per Centri di Permanenza per il Rimpatrio, quindi dei luoghi in cui sostanzialmente si viene rinchiusi senza aver effettivamente commesso un reato. Infatti il presupposto alla base è quello di non avere un documento, non avere un titolo amministrativo valido per rimanere sul territorio.
So after they refused my case, I went to my solicitor, so she make another fresh claim for me, and they moved me to Leeds. So I was in Leeds again, signing on every week.
And then she found out she was pregnant. She had a very difficult pregnancy, a second pregnancy, just like she did with me at the first time. My father, from what I know, he had to go to court because obviously he was also undocumented. We still don't know how he even got to Berlin. Nobody knows how that happened, and he doesn't talk about it. Courts still ruled in favor of him being deported. So he left.
Anche nel caso semplicemente di una perdita dei documenti per perdita di lavoro, e lì è come se qualcuno tentasse proprio di cancellarti dalla faccia della terra, cioè la minaccia, il pericolo che tu senti, il disconoscimento è talmente alto che è il livello di assalto di una bomba nucleare dal punto di vista psichico.
I remember it was August 11th, 2015, around that time, during that time. So they took me to Miami home. There I was detained for a long time.
He didn't want to be deported. He even tried to run, but the police caught him.
I front deportation 2 times, from Frankfurt to Brussels. It's there they break my hand.
The judge denied the asylum, and that's why my problem starts difficult for me, you see. I felt all that consequences up to now this time because I don't know. If I know, I couldn't do it. But I don't have proper advice, you see. My lawyer did not explain to me properly.
They was asked me if I want to return back. I said, no, I don't want to return. They asked me a question, why I don't want to return back.
Pensano che noi siamo carne da macellare, ma noi non siamo un carne a macellare, noi siamo delle persone umane, siamo delle persone umane, che noi non siamo degli assassini, non siamo mai stati degli assassini.
My case was refused again in Leeds, so from Leeds I make another appeal again. They moved me to Barnsley, so I was there again, they refused my case again. Remember I told you I spent 11 years in the UK, so I've been struggling with this refuse.
I recant myself. I'm a man with family in that country. I have my kid there. I said, we are Africans, but we love our children. I love my family. I don't like somebody to come and dispatch me from my family.
I make another appeal. They accept my case again then. They send me to Hull City. So I was in Hull City. I get evicted again. They said, oh, you've been evicted. I don't know.
Il sequestro dei telefoni all'entrata nel CPR comporta non solo l'impossibilità di comunicare con i propri cari, diventa difficile anche gestire il rapporto con il proprio legale di fiducia.
C'è qualcuno che sta morendo e loro non se ne fregano proprio. Per oggi sono finiti 5 nell'ospedale e da ieri sera che non abbiamo mangiato niente.
All my money goes to the lawyer, so I was indigent, don't have any money, and it was difficult because you have to find like a lawyer to fight your case, and you don't even have like 100% guarantee that you're going to win your case. I was even imagining why are they detaining me long time like this? That time we have Ebola in our country. Our country was very difficult by then.
From Hull City, they have to ship me out again to Middlesbrough. And I was out again, trying.
And what's going through there, use a handcuff, use something like a rope, tie my hand again, no blood is working, no, take me like this. I was feeling huge pain, just like when somebody boil a water. It puts me inside there, inside the water, hot water.
So now she's a single mother, alone in Germany. At that point, this one time when she was with my brother, she took the train and she met a white man, German man, Mr. Lothar, I believe was his name. She was happy and she thought that with this new relationship, with her new job, her child, she could be putting some money aside to reunite me, my brother, and her.
First I was in Brookhouse Detention Center, and they put IRC, Immigration Removal Center, IRC.
Le persone vengono costantemente imbottite di psicofarmaci. Un avvocato che ha seguito tanti casi legati al CPR di Milano ha proprio detto che le persone entrano normali e poi piano piano si spengono ed escono praticamente come degli zombie.
C'è qualcuno magari che le sue mani rotte, come questo ragazzo, ha rifatto qua con gesso, però loro l'hanno tolto perché dicono che è vietato entrare con gesso.
Forse è più utile pensare a cosa non accade. Quello che lo differenzia dal carcere è che è estremamente meno garantito e la regolamentazione è estremamente meno precisa.
Well, the immigration camp is, the difference is they have their own facility which is built just for that. And the security is tighter in those. The jail side, they can hold like firearm, but like in the immigration, you cannot see any firearm. Yeah.
And from there, I was released. Then I went so many detention centers: Brookhouse, Collinbrook, Motinol.
Dottore, questa qui!
People don't understand why I was shouting. They was thinking that maybe I'm trying to resist deportation. That's why.
Die Erinnerung an meinen Vater, die Erinnerungen, die sind auf jeden Fall, die haben sich sehr eingebrannt. Als ich 25 war, da hat mein Vater mich angerufen. Also es war ein afrikanischer, englisch sprechender Mensch am Telefon und meinte, hey, my name is Mohammed, hey, I'm Mr. Mohammed Lamin Kamara. I got the same name like you. You my son.
Before we arrived in Brussels, my foot like this, swelling big. And from there, we arrive in Brussels, we have to wait for a British Airways, then pick me up there, lift me like this. I was feeling pain. I said, look my foot. The guy see my condition. He said, no, we cannot take a passenger like this. They refused. The guys want to use the force to get me in the plane. They blocked the three of them, blocked in the plane. They tried to push that. They said, no, we don't take this kind of passenger.
All'interno del CPR manca l'orologio, il tempo passa nella totale inedia, nella totale inconsapevolezza di quella che è la propria situazione, di quello che è il proprio orientamento nello spazio e nel tempo.
They visit me up to 3 times because they are coming from like St. Petersburg to Miami. It's very far and very expensive for her to come and visit me 3 times in that 17 months.
Ja, dann hat er auch schon gesagt, er möchte mich sehen, er möchte zu meinem Geburtstag kommen, er möchte mir zeigen, dass ich noch 2 Geschwister habe. Ich habe noch 2 Schwestern. Das Erste, was mein Vater gesagt hat, als er auf mich zukam, du siehst aus wie deine Mutter. Warum siehst du aus wie deine Mutter? Und ist auf die Knie gefallen und hat sich entschuldigt. Da habe ich gesagt, das ist okay. Ich nehme die Entschuldigung an, denn das verzeihe ich ihm.
They went on a few more dates. They got married. He knew what her situation was and he was okay with it. Things would be better. They were living in bliss for like a few years, but then Lothar became weird. He hid a lot of things from her. He wasn't as open as he was before. And in the meantime, he started drinking a lot.
So they packed their vehicle down. They just hold me like this, like somebody, like Africa, the way people are loading rice or offloading rice and so, bam! I go with my hand like this. Oh, my hand is breaking.
I bagni sono gli unici posti in cui le telecamere non ci sono. Diventa rischioso perché le persone si suicidano nei bagni.
I was doing like self-farming just for me not to come to Sierra Leone because the self-farm here, you see, these are the scars I got there, here. So I was even trying to commit suicide.
Nel CPR di Torino con il suicidio di Mussabalde, un ragazzo appena 20enne che era stato pestato a sangue degli italiani a Ventimiglia e si era scoperto che non aveva dei documenti validi per rimanere sul territorio italiano e quindi era stato trasportato all'interno del CPR, nonostante avrebbe avuto diritto a rimanere sul suolo italiano, in quanto vittima di un reato.
They don't want me to take me again to deportation camp because of those guys they are waiting for deportation don't understand. If they take me there, they should know all those guys they are waiting for deportation. This is happening. So is that president keep me until 2, 3, 4 months, my hand is getting better.
What happened, because when I was there, I was studying the law, trying to help myself because there is no money to pay lawyer anymore. Money finish, everything finish, so I have to fight my case myself. And I sent my case to the Supreme Court.
She knew there was something wrong. There's something weird going on. And you know what happened? She found him in a bed with another man. Was a marriage a complete lie? Was he using her just to show face that he was straight? She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to react to it. This is the first time she's in this situation. She tried to handle it the best way that she could because he had safety, he had security for her.
I got transferred. I got shipped out to another detention center. That was Dorset.
As soon as my case went to the Supreme Court, they took me away. So I don't know what happened next. Because I believe that if my case was go to the Supreme Court, I would have been acquitted.
Yeah, you see, I was even fighting not to come to the country. They even put handcuff on me. You can see the mark there, the handcuff mark. You can see there, I was strapped like this. Yeah, oh my God, it was horrible. I know if I come here, it's gonna be tough for me.
So I was detained for like 17 months, missing my family. Keeping me so long in the detention center was very, very tough for me emotionally.
They was fighting me. There was about 8 of them, huge guys and tall officers. And me, I was there on my own, strapping me, putting me on the plane, fighting me even in the plane. I couldn't do nothing. I was hopeless. I was defenseless. They know about these things, they know.
With that fear of knowledge that my mother has of him that nobody does have, he decided, let me go to the police, saying that she forced him into marriage. She knew he was gay or, whatever the situation may be. But he used that situation against her, knowing as a black woman in a world run by men, white men, you don't have a standing. You know what I mean? He knew she was struggling. Nobody would listen to her. They would believe him over her any time. She fought hard. He thought he was gonna win, but she fought hard, even though she was deported.
So after I was overstayed, I tried to seek asylum, come with problem for me. If I didn't seek asylum, I should have still been in the UK. But because I seek asylum, that's why I got deported and I'm in Sierra Leone right now.
He brought another mouth to feed and another soul to fill.
And unimaginable, that kind of time they keep me over there, it was really, really hot. I was feeling hot so bad.
A lot of the things happen in silence, not in broad daylight. So it's actually far removed from the public. When people have been deported, the moment they are out, not much is heard anymore. So their voices are not heard anymore. So a lot of violence, a lot of things happen during this process.
Yeah, they took me from Chrome. They attempted like twice while I was in the detention. They took me to the airport. It took over 30 minutes there. It was like, I was inside alone. I don't know, just stressed out, depressed.
I call it force removal. It's like they forcing you, so they're gonna use, even if you try to fight them, they use all force against you. When I was in the plane, I was strapped, my neck, I can't even move. I don't know, I'm not a criminal, I didn't kill no one, I didn't rape no one, I didn't kill no one, nobody.
Take me to Hanover in the morning, in the night, drive with a vehicle to Munich.
So in 1989, she was deported.
I feel like not having enough breath, loss of breath, in that place. I feel like suffocating in there. I was like kind of unconscious, halfway unconscious. So, yes, with chains on me. What is going on? Why they still holding me in this airport?
From the detention center, I said, oh, I'm not going nowhere. So from there now, they strapped me. I'm in the car. From the car, when I get up, I was strapped up in the plane. Till I don't even step with my foot on the stairs. Strapped my foot by the plane like this so that I couldn't move. Then one of them at the back, because we use the back seats. There's not a lot of people on the plane.
To her, it's like a blur. It's like a nightmare that she doesn't remember, and she refuses to remember. It's like a bad memory. She doesn't know what happened, but she just remembers waking up in that car. So from that car, she could take, a bus and come back to Freetown. She came back, 10 years later of living in Berlin.
A me è venuto immediatamente in mente Semira Adamu. È stata la prima volta che a livello europeo l'espulsione veniva evidenziata attraverso la drammaticità di un'uccisione. È stato qualcosa di forte, di impattante in quel momento là. Era il settembre del 98.
From Munich, with a charter flight, 11 police with 1 doctor. Me alone to Sierra Leone. We are flying.
They finally, in the morning, I think around 3 o'clock, took me to the Miami airport, to New York. From New York, with 2 officers by my side to Ghana. I bought the ticket and I took the flight, and then I come to Sierra Leone.
Das weiß ich nicht. Ich habe ein Telefon bekommen, dass ist im Abschiebungshaft. Fertig, mehr weiß ich nicht. Und ich bin gegangen mit Lian, seine Sache bringen, und dann war es schon so spät. Er war schon im Flughafen. Wir sind gekommen, ich glaube, morgen früh sogar. Ich komme, ich glaube, in 6 Uhr oder so, und dann...
Ich hätte auf jeden Fall viel mehr Beistand gehabt, wenn meine Mutter nicht abgeschoben worden wäre. Das ist das Größte, was ich vermisst habe. Immer wenn ich traurig war und besonders traurig war, weil ich wegen der Hautfarbe beleidigt wurde oder so Probleme gab. Denn dadurch bin ich dann sehr gewalttätig geworden. Es gab eine Menge Gewalt, die nicht hätte sein müssen.
I had a call from immigration, and with the biggest surprise when I got there, I got to see Soleimani back, with not even a kobo coming back from Europe. And guess what? He didn't even have a transport to take him from the airport to come back home. I had to pay for him with my own money.
Because it's hard for them as well, you see, at first. When I come, at least I get somewhere to lay my head down. That's all I need at that time. So for that reason, that's why I don't even stay in the city. I always stay at the country. Because there's no place, I'm homeless if I'm in the city. I haven't got no place in the city. I have to go to the village where my family are, country people are.
As you come back, your family, your friends, they think that you come back because you lived abroad for so long that you've got money to just give away. But they don't understand the struggle that you have to go through. Even as an asylum seeker, finding a job is hard. So the family is very disappointed in her and the fact that she didn't bring them money. But did they help her other than getting her out of the country?
They have those security guys that used to charge to escort deportees. They are a racism groups, squads. They are forming out there to deport people.
Ci sono questi meccanismi perversi che vanno anche a minare quelli che sono i fondamenti della Convenzione universale sui diritti dell'uomo, perché l'Italia, come altri paesi europei, sta definendo una politica che è volta sempre più a esternalizzare le frontiere e a pagare determinati stati per contenere i flussi migratori.
When they give them the go-ahead, they must see that either they bring you alive or dead.
When they took me out of the cell to go to the flight, then getting there, we waited for some time before we went inside the flight. We went inside the flight exactly when the flight was ready to move, and then they started forcing me. I was shouting. There were about 8 men, security from Sabina and police officers. They pushed me down. One of them was pressing my mouth with a pillow. He almost suffocated me, and the others were pressing me all over my body so that I can shout.
Una ragazza uccisa nel tentativo di zittirla con un cuscino sull'aereo per riportarla in un luogo in cui sarebbe stata imprigionata se va bene, lapidata se andava male, cioè avrebbe subito delle violenze inenarrabili, quindi il suo tentativo di resistere a quel rimpatrio coatto forzato ha determinato la sua morte perché era più forte il bisogno di uno Stato europeo di rimpatriare una persona anche a costo della sua vita.
I want to breathe, but I can't breathe. This was happening for long since during deportation, but people don't pick it.
He does not talk about his life. He sleeps, wakes, walks around, wanders about the whole city. Maybe he is sad. Maybe he is ashamed.
Arriving in Sierra Leone, it was very difficult. You know, I was really mentally derailed. You know, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm going mad. You know, like, it was really a very difficult situation for me because I was thinking, how am I going to cope up with life? How am I going to live? My family, they are not like rich or. So I was thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to survive? You know, how am I going to integrate into the in the society? No jobs, I was thinking a lot of difficulties, you know. So I have to find myself in the hospital.
Because I've been there for decades. I haven't got the right, even if I haven't got visa, I got a private life, I got a family life. My brother, my friends are there. You know, if I've been there for 1 year, I would say, yeah, just a year, 2 years, yeah. For 10, 11 years, I'm in that country. You're not going to know any system there. I don't know nothing in Africa. And I come here, I have to start zero again. And up to now, I haven't come. It's not because, where are you going to go? Oh, excuse me, I'm a chef. I'm looking for a job. Who's going to look at you? There's no job in the country. Where I'm going to go for a chef? Say, yeah, I'm looking for a kitchen porter. They'll look at you, man, fuck off, man. Go find something to do. You see? It's tough.
My grandfather kicked her out of the house because she doesn't have money. She has a friend in Berlin who has a place in Freetown. So the friend was like, I understand your situation. You're a good friend of mine. You can stay at the house until you can get back on your feet.
You see already how people relate to them. They feel it, they see it, that people rather see them as failures, as people who are coming back with nothing. Friends laugh at them, families reject them because they've not come back with what is expected, you know. So this process of being rejected on every stage makes it really very difficult for the deportee.
I had to share the food that I gave to my husband and my little children with him. Whole day we sit at home, watching the sun, in his biggest regret.
The church helped me sometimes. And because even right now I'm talking, we've been in the church. I'm working there as a volunteer. I'm helping them build in the church right now in my area. Because that's why even when I was in England, I used to do a bit of charity work. Yes. Because I haven't got visa to work and I'm an asylum seeker. When I was in Sunderland, I used to help at the St. Mary's.
Lo sforzo di sopravvivere, lo sforzo di cambiare, lo sforzo di resistere, di stare è enorme. Vanificato per di più da un attacco così violento come una deportazione forzata, chiaramente crea una situazione secondo me irreversibile dal punto di vista del benessere psichico.
My mom was with me tried their best, you know, to take care of me at that point. I went to the mental health hospital, you know. They treat me well, I feel better, I come back. It keeps going on and on, sometimes it takes like few months, go back a few months.
When our brothers arrive, we don't want them to front what we have front before. So we used to pick them there, give them 3 days accommodation. We had to rest, medical support, and from there, their shelter and their transportation.
Is that the mentality of Sierra Leoneans? Is that how we are? I go abroad, I come back, you expect money from me. Instead of being happy to see me come back, the relationships with her parents was very bad moving forward after that. She had to do her own thing. Her family was not there supporting her in any kind of way. So, being gone for so long, 10 years, a lot's changed in 10 years.
They all pissed off with me because they was like, oh, they don't know what I'm going to in England. They don't know. They just think maybe I'm not that serious or whatever. Even when I came, my family neglects me because, I don't know. At first, yeah, there was a bit of support, but since that, there's no support, no encouragement.
I think that this is a loser or probably he commits crime, that's why, you know, he's probably doing drugs or whatever, this, that. They just look at you and then they're talking bad about this person, you know. You can hear information here, information there. You know they're talking about you. They don't know the truth about it, you know, they don't know the truth. So they stigmatize.
Es ist eigentlich ganz wichtig, dass wenn Leute generell beleidigt oder gemobbt werden, dass jemand da ist, der sie stärkt. Ich hätte vielleicht auch viel mehr mich selbst geliebt und auch afrikanische Sachen, denn
So when she came back, because she spoke German, and she would teach Sierra Leoneans to speak German, the ones who were gonna go abroad. So, and she was happy doing that. She was good at it. And that's what she did. So she worked really hard.
Today, we're able to educate them over radio, over district level, call a meeting, and newspaper is writing, press, medias, people are understanding now. Now the provocation before have been limited.
I'm just coping day by day because it's hard anyway. I don't know. Talking about this thing making me, you know what I mean, feeling depressed because I haven't been talking about this for a long while. I just move on my daily basic. I don't talk about my problems to people because at the end of the day, no one is there to listen to you. No one is there to help you, so you just go by.
Now I'm working for myself. I find something to do, you know, helping my dad. His work because he's old now, you know. I'm working, building like tanks, water tanks. You know, if we have job, then we can do it. But sometimes it takes a while, we don't have jobs.
She started going out little by little. No matter what people judged her or their looks or the gossip, she didn't care. She started going out and then she went to the stadium this one time. And then at the stadium, she met this man. And she explained to him the situation. He understood. They dated for about 6 months. He was literate, but he didn't understand, you know, the scars that Salone gave to her. But he was very kind from what she told me.
We already find out that we cannot able to stop deportation. If they said they will deport like somebody like you or me, let it be in adequate form.
Because everyone got a problem. He's a deportee. They don't want to know about you. They don't care. Oh, you're lucky you've been to Europe. I say, yeah, I'm lucky I've been to Europe. But I'm in Africa and I was struggling. You see, it's difficult. Call her, I swear we communicate. I miss her. I miss England. I miss the life, everything. And I wish I could get her life back. Yeah. I wish I could go second chance in my life.
La distanza, lo strappo diventa tale, no? La persona che viene deportata si perde di nuovo In questo suo perdersi di nuovo non è neanche detto che abbia poi la volontà di mantenere contatti con le persone di un territorio che in qualche modo ricordano, no, la sofferenza di quella che è stata l'espulsione.
It's another disappointment because of my wife did not see the possibility when I'm going to come back. We're still talking, but she's on her way. She's doing her own thing now. It's like we are not together because she's like frustrated. She don't know when she can come. She don't have the money. She don't have the resource. Me too, I don't have that resource. I could have said, okay, let's come here or do something, do some business, big business, so that I can help support my child over there.
What does he expect from us after we have given him everything?
What she had to sacrifice in order for me and my brother to have a good life. And people, they don't talk about the deportees and what they go through. Sometimes you leave a country to find a better home, and even if you seek asylum, a refugee status, you might not get it, but you still live in that country and you try to be a good person, and one little thing can disrupt all of it. And whatever you built crumbles.
A lot of life have gone during deportation. So there is no doubt to see most of our brothers, when they arrive back home, they are crazy, they are mentally disordered, a lot of things is happening.
If he failed in heaven, how can he survive in hell? How can we, his family, survive?
You need to know the stories. You need to know the way they treating people. And yes, I was deported falsely because I wasn't, if it's for me, I wasn't even want to come to this country, but I was falsely moved.
The only thing that matters is that you are undocumented to them. It's not about what you've done, who you've helped, what a good person you are. It's the fact that you are undocumented, and then the government steps in, and then it's all legality. And then you lose everything. You go back to a country you barely know anymore.
If I would have come with like some capital for like business, then I can do some business, but I don't. I came with nothing, financially, just like that. Just with like a mesh bag in my hand and nothing else.
It's not right. That said, the world is a global village. Yes, the world is a global village. Where is it?
You go back and you don't get help anymore. Nobody's there to support you. Nobody's there to help you find a job.
And I hope that this does not happen to someone else, like the way it happens to me.
We are human. We are human. We are not animals.
I can only imagine what she had to go through. And I love her. And thank you, Fatima Kamakoye, for everything you've done for me.